Welcome back to Perks Recap Podcast. We are back again for our Week 13, or it's already Week 13, our preview of Week 13. With me, of course, is Al. Al, are you ready for Week 13?
Well, shoot, I hope so. Man, yeah, it's been a wild year in the NFL, and I'm definitely ready to talk about it. I don't know if I'm ready to be right much.
Right. I hear you. Wow. All right. Well, for this, you take the lead, but I wanted to mention one thing. And of course, now I don't have it, so give me 1 second.
No problem.
Okay. Now, I know I'm eventually going to be disappointed by the Cowboys, probably this week. But since I'm feeling good about them now, I do want to mention, I meant to mention it last podcast. Dak Prescott, when he starts, is 36-9 against the entire NFC East.
That's crazy.
And 22-2 at home.
That's incredible numbers.
He's 12-2 against Washington, 14-2 against the Giants, and 10-5 against the Eagles.
And that 10-5 against the Eagles is more impressive than the other two, which are impressive in themselves, because the Eagles have been good the whole time he's been in the league. You know?
Absolutely. So
the Giants have been trashed that whole time, so and it's still very impressive. And Washington's been up and down, mostly bad. So the 10-5 against the Eagles, though, is super impressive, man, and all of it's impressive.
And by the way, the 36-9 record is the best quarterback record within the division of any player ever. No other quarterback has gone at that winning percentage against his division.
That's amazing.
So for some reason, he plays really well against the division, but doesn't matter because when the playoffs roll around, he plays bad. And when they might not even make the playoffs. So we'll have to see if anything changes this year. But I just figured I'd mention some of those numbers. I wanted to last podcast, kind of forgot about it. And like I said, I'm fully expecting they're going to disappoint, and they might start this week. But let's get rolling on that.
Yeah, and you might as well live it up while you can, like you said. When the apples are right, eat the apples.
Yes, exactly.
I love it, man. Awesome. Okay, so Week 13, because it's Thanksgiving and they have a massive multi-day slate, there are no buys this week.
Yes, which is cool.
Yeah. So, all right. So let's kick it off with Thanksgiving Day, the Thanksgiving Day slate. And we got a huge one right off the bat, 1 o'clock, Green Bay at Detroit in a battle, shockingly, in a battle for second place in this hotly contested NFC North.
Yep. I mean, when people are listening to this game might have already happened or may have just started or is about to start. But regardless, we are obviously recording this well before the game starts. And I don't know. I mean, both teams are so up and down. I could see going either way. So because they're both kind of in the same tier to me, they're both kind of up and down to me. I just went with the home team, so I went Detroit 27-23. But Joe goes the other way, and I can totally see why. And he went Green Bay 30-27.
Okay, I respect both opinions. We don't end up deadlocked after 12 weeks of picking games and not respect each other's opinions. And what a welcome addition Joe has been this year. And right there he has a lot. He picks a lot different than you and me, which it's been fascinating at times how similarly we think. And Joe has come to that same record in a very different route than you and I, but has been a really welcome addition to the pod. So kudos to Joe. And I could totally see him being right. But surprisingly, Craig, I'm with you on this one. I'm going Detroit mostly because they're at home. It's two good teams, but at times mystifying teams, hard to figure. I'm just going with the home team, and that's that. The Detroit, I don't think it's going to affect this week. I'd be surprised if he plays, but Detroit did get some interesting news this week. Their former All-Pro center, Frank Ragnow, has come out of retirement in a Brandon Graham for the Eagles-like fashion, and I'd be stunned if he's playing this week, but he will be back at some point for them, and that could be big for them.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
So I don't think I said the score, though. Sorry, I sidetracked myself with Frank Ragnow. I'm going Detroit 28-26. We all went close.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if this is a blowout in either direction.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
All right. Anything else on that one, my man?
I'm good.
All right. Well, boy, here we go, bud. You talked about your boys. You got in your Dak stat, which I don't blame you for at all. That's incredibly impressive. And boy, is this is Dallas going to pull that Eagles comeback into a big turnaround for their entire season? We're going to find out this week, man, because this game could have a big say and will have a big say in that. And that is the Kansas City Chiefs going to Dallas at 4:30 on Thanksgiving Day. What do you think, man?
Somehow, I have a weird thought that this is more important to the Chiefs because if Dallas loses this game, it's not a conference game. Now, granted, if Kansas City loses this game, it's not a conference game, but they're farther behind. Well, they're like out of the playoffs in the AFC if they lose this game. Dallas is probably out of the playoffs even if they win this game, but if they lose it, they're farther back. But they can their last 4 games, I think they can win all 4 of them. And I don't know. I just think for some reason in my head, Kansas City needs this even more than Dallas does. Regardless, I did pick Kansas City in a shootout, 33-30.
Oh, I love it.
But because I'm superstitious, I picked Dallas again for the second week in a row as my upset.
I love it. And if they win this week, you'll do it again the next week.
Yeah, because last week I picked Philly and Dallas was my upset and they won. So I went this week Kansas City and Dallas is my upset.
I get it 100%. What was your score?
33-30.
Nice. Okay. Cool.
Kansas City 34-31 for Joe.
Okay. Yeah. Listen, I am. This is a fascinating game. I mean, this is my opinion. We talk a lot about certain games changing our opinion on teams, and boy, would my opinion. I mean, it already got rocked last week with that big comeback against the Eagles, but if they go 2 in a row against Philly and Kansas City, boy, does my opinion change on the Cowboys. Say again?
The 2 Super Bowl teams.
Oh, exactly. If they beat the 2 Super Bowl teams from last year 2 weeks in a row, how can your opinion not change? So now if they go out and get slaughtered, I don't see it happening, but if they go out and get slaughtered by the Chiefs, it just takes away everything they did against Philly this week. But if they win, or even if they just play a close game, honestly, it really changes my opinion on the Cowboys a lot. So I am picking Kansas City, but I'm picking it even closer than you guys did. I'm going Kansas City 30-28. And I am also picking Dallas as my upset team.
Oh, okay. Very good. Very good. Okay. Yeah. I feel good about the team overall. I feel good about the win against Philly. And, I can't say I'd be surprised if they won. I'd be ecstatic if they do win, but I don't think it'd be a major shock because they are playing better. Their defense has definitely played better. And especially against Philadelphia, Overshown really had a big impact. He played really well, and his speed is right there again. So love to see that. So they can do this. It's just I can't pick it yet. I can't be that confident. I'm usually for an upset or I'm usually ready for a disappointment more than an upset. But
Yeah.
we'll see. And I do like the schedule the rest of the way. After they play Detroit next week, then after that, the rest of the way, they've got some games I think they can win. In Kansas City, if they lose, they are in big trouble for just to even make the playoffs.
No doubt.
It's not It's not a big deal if Dallas doesn't make the playoffs because people weren't picking them anyway. But it's a huge deal if Kansas City does it, and if they lose this game, they might not make it.
They are in 10th place currently in the AFC, Craig. How about that?
Yeah.
You know what team is one spot behind them at 11 in the AFC? This is how crazy this year is. Miami Dolphins.
Yeah.
At 4-7. They are the 11th place team in the AFC right now. Kansas City is 10th. That's nuts.
Yeah. That's why I think in my mind it means more to them.
No, I agree. I'm with you. That makes perfect sense the way you broke it down. And this is an absolutely fascinating game, and I'm glad it's the only game on when it's on, so I can focus on it 100%.
Yeah.
I have demanded that dinner be done before 4:30. Awesome. All right, moving on in a game that's not nearly as interesting on Thanksgiving Day, but still fun because of the return of one of the best players in football. That is Cincinnati at Baltimore.
Yeah, no T. Higgins, but Jamar Chase will be back off of his suspension, and the connection that he has with Burrow.
Darn right.
But we also know what Baltimore has been doing in terms of winning. What is it now? 5, 6 in a row, something like that?
5 in a row, yep.
5 in a row. Not as impressive last week, we must say.
For sure.
But they're at home. And Cincinnati's not a good team. Let's just face it. They're not a good team.
Yeah. Even with Joe Burrow, they're not a good team. They still have a crappy defense.
Would it be a shock if they won? Not really.
Right.
But I'm not going to pick it.
Right.
So Baltimore 26-19.
Okay.
For me. But Joe is going to pick it, and he goes Cincinnati 30-27.
Whoa, I love it, Joe. Joe is usually good for one where you're just like, man, no way. And often he gets that one right. Like last week, it was that Browns-Raiders game. And so I will not be surprised if Cincinnati wins. I, however, am not going to pick it. I'm going to go Baltimore, and I'm going 30-20.
Yeah, hopefully Lamar starts looking more like Lamar. That's another big problem.
Well, and if you want to get a quarterback right, go put him up against this Cincinnati defense.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on, I forgot that they have this Friday thing now. And boy, is it a important, interesting game, especially for me, but for anybody that's a fan of football. And that is the Bears going to Philly, coming off that epic collapse against the Cowboys.
Yeah, well, I always assume Philly's going to get right. They're the better team over Chicago. That's just all there is to it. And they obviously, I would assume, are going to have a chip on their shoulder.
You would hope.
Yeah. So all that in mind, I think Philly's going to win this game. I have them winning 24-18. I'll be rooting for Chicago, obviously.
Don't blame you.
And they have played well this year. They really have.
Absolutely. They'll be a challenge.
They're not going to lay down. They're going to be a challenge. I got, that's a one-score game, 24-18. So I think they're going to be right there, but I think Philly just kind of outlasts them.
Right on.
Joe, 28-21, Philadelphia. It's also a one-score game.
Okay. Yeah, man, this is a fascinating game. The Eagles have to bounce back. I think they will. It was a pleasant surprise to me to see that the Eagles were a 7.5-point favorite in this game, which made me feel better about their chances going into this and everything, especially being at home, coming off a terrible loss. If they whatever they have in the tank to pull it together, they're gonna do it this week. Now, that being said, even when they're winning games, they have been close all year almost, with very few exceptions. So I'm going Philly, but I'm taking it in an ugly one like the two they won prior to the Cowboy collapse, and I'm going 17-14 Eagles.
Oh, so you're betting on that defense to bounce back a bit.
Yeah, I am. And the offense not to, because they still can't put together a whole game.
Yeah, they'll put together a couple quarters, but that's it.
They looked like world beaters in the first half against the Cowboys, and then they didn't do crap for 30 minutes. So I still don't know what to make of this.
Over that, because they scored their 21st point, and there was like 9 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, it was early in the second quarter. So yeah, it was
They
2.5 quarters plus.
They never scored again. That's crazy.
It's nuts. It's nuts. I can't figure it out. The Eagles obviously can't. The offensive coordinator, whose name I have now forgotten again, is got the dreaded what do you call it? The endorsement from Sirianni this week saying,
the vote of confidence.
Yes, the dreaded vote of confidence. That's what I was looking for. Thank you. I mean, it's bad. So I just don't know what to make of it. But I still think with that defense, they can rattle Caleb Williams and slow down DeAndre Swift more than most people have this year. So I feel good about them winning, but not awesome about a blowout or a great performance. So let's just see what they can do. I'll take 17-14 Eagles.
Okay. Real quick, if they happen to lose,
yeah,
how loud are the alarm bells?
Well, part of that would be how they lose. If it's a well-played close game, it's one thing. If it's another collapse like the Cowboys or just a blowout by the Bears, it's another. If it's one of those two latter, it is massive loud alarm bells, and everybody's going to start talking about 2023 again when they were 10-1 and ended up 11-6. If it's close and they play well, then it's not too bad, but it's still pretty bad. But if it's a bad loss, it's epic, and boy, and it's going to be hard for the offensive coordinator to survive the barrage of media onslaught that would be coming from it.
Okay, yeah, that's well put. The fact that you mentioned that it's how they lose, and that's important.
Right on. Okay.
But I don't think it's good.
All right.
Go ahead.
No. I'm sorry. I thought you were ready to move on. My bad. I'm with you. I don't think it's going to happen, but boy, if it does, and depending how it does, it could get real ugly in Philly, because all of a sudden this team that was just absolutely crushing is 8-4 instead of 9-4, 8-4, whatever it would be.
Yeah, I think 8-4.
Yeah, 8-4. Yeah, and on a 2-game losing streak. One with an epic collapse against an arch rival, and another one against a solid team, but a team they should beat at home.
Yep.
All right, man. Moving on to 1:00 on Sunday, the normal slate. We have a we don't have to spend a whole lot of time on this one probably. That is the Saints going to Miami.
Yeah, Miami. They don't have a great record. They're playing a little better though. They just look better.
Yeah, they do. In the last few weeks, absolutely.
Yeah.
Not great, but better.
Right. In New Orleans, I mean, they're learning what Chuck is, trying to figure out if he's the answer, kind of just going through the motions the rest of the season. But they at least have a purpose in terms of just evaluating their young quarterback.
Yeah.
So having said all that, it's also in Miami. I'm going Miami 28-14. And Joe was going Miami 28-20, a little closer than me. I have Miami doubling them up.
Right on. Wow. Okay. I'm very close to Joe on this one. I'm going Miami 27-20.
Oh, great. Perfect.
Nice. Yeah. And you summed it up well. The last thing I'll say about this is this is just Tyler Shuck time in New Orleans, find out if they have their quarterback. I'm not sure. I don't know. But early returns are not awful, so it's still possible they found their guy in the second round this year. Let's see.
Yep.
All right, man. Now, moving on to one of the potential games of the week, along with your Cowboy Chief showdown and my Eagle Bear showdown and the Packers and Detroit. We got another barn burner at 1:00. Houston at Indy in a division that is all of a sudden a bit of a question mark as far as who's going to win this sucker. It looked like Indy had this wrapped up through 8 weeks.
Absolutely, it did. But that was 3 weeks ago. And
that's right.
And things have changed. It'll probably change in 3 weeks from now.
No doubt.
But I believe in Indy. I believe in the Colts. I've changed my opinion on them a little bit in terms of how dominant they were early. but
Mm-hmm.
not too much. And I still think they're a good team. I do. And I also think they're going to win this division. So if they're going to win this division, this is the kind of game they got to win. Plus they need to bounce back. They need to win against a good team. I think you even said that in the review show.
Yeah.
And I think Houston fits that bill. I would not at all be surprised if Houston actually gets this win, but Indy is also at home. So all that wraps up to me to be an Indianapolis win, 24-19. Joe agrees, 23-20, really close one. But this is going to be a fun one. This is a good game.
Love it. And by the way, it looks like CJ Stroud is going to return. I'm not caveating. It doesn't make any difference to me because Davis, what do you guys say they called him? General Mills. He's been very good. He's been as good as Stroud or better, honestly. So it doesn't affect my pick at all, but it does look like Stroud's coming back. He fully practiced today, and so it looks good for his return. That being said, check this out. I'm going Indy 23-20.
Are you kidding?
Nope.
Wow. So you and Joe, 1 point off in the last game and exactly the same this game.
Shout out to my guy, Joe. Love it. And you were only 1 point in either direction on our score.
That's true.
That's wild, man. I love it. That's how you end up tied through 12 weeks.
Yeah, at 24-19.
Yeah. Oh, I love it, man. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that game. All right. In a game I'm not looking forward to nearly that much, we have the Falcons going to the New York Jets.
Yeah. I am not impressed with the Falcons. They are, I said it in the review, they are officially like a bad team. I know they pulled off the win. I don't believe in Kirk Cousins one bit. And I could see him completely laying an egg and the Jets getting their, their third win.
Yeah, yep.
But the Jets are terrible. But I'm actually doing it. I'm going Jets.
Oh, I love it.
23-21. Got a feeling. Plus, they're at home. And you got a bad team coming on the road. I mean, granted, to play another bad team.
It's not crazy at all.
But, an Atlanta team that can completely not get anything out of their quarterback position can lose this game. So I'm going Jets 23-21. Joe has Atlanta 24-16.
Okay. Yeah, I would be with you if this was a primetime game.
Right.
But since it's safely at 1 o'clock for old Mr. Cousins, Mr. Anything but primetime, I'm going to take the Falcons. I don't feel awesome about it either way. These are two really bad teams. And I don't know. I'm just going to take the Falcons because they've been a little better. But I don't feel awesome about it. I'm going to take the Falcons 20-16.
Yeah. You had the same score for the Jets as Joe, too. 16.
Yeah, that's right. Man, Joe and I are really in a mind meld here.
Yeah, simplicado.
I love it. We're live long and prosper, Joe.
Yeah, I wanted to get a good upset in this week, and this is the one I went with. I wouldn't be surprised if anything that happens in this one, and I'm not going to watch it. So.
Yeah, right there with you, man. Way too many other good. I mean, it's going to be tough to pull me off that Houston Indy game, period. But definitely, I mean, there's about 7 games I'd rather watch at 1 o'clock than this one.
Yep.
Love it. All right. Speaking of which, this is not exactly a barn burner, but I'd rather watch this one than that one, and that is San Francisco at Cleveland with Shedeur Sanders earning the starting gig for now.
Over under 3 sacks for Myles Garrett.
Oh man, he might get that record this week. I mean, I wouldn't I'd probably take the under just because of the odds, but I wouldn't bet on it because Garrett is too on fire right now.
If he gets 4, he gets the record.
Yeah. Yeah. I would, oh man, I'm rooting for him to get it.
So, having said all that, San Francisco has found ways to win. They have Christian McCaffrey, who, if it's not Jonathan Taylor that's trying to make the case for an MVP not to be a quarterback, then it would be McCaffrey also making that same case.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I mentioned in the other podcast, leading the entire NFL in carries and in receptions, and it's never been done before. No one's ever led in both. But having said all that, I'm going to say, Shador is good and bad. He was decent last week, but he was terrible the other time we saw him. We don't know now. It's way too early for him. And I know Cleveland's at home, but I'm going with the better team. San Francisco is the better team. So I'm going 23-16 San Francisco.
Okay.
And Joe is going Cleveland. 20-17.
Love it. Well, you gotta love Joe, man. My man picks some stuff that you don't see coming, and he's right as much as or more than he's wrong. It's impressive. Very impressive. And you don't have to worry about Joe picking up an upset every week because he always comes through with at least one.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love it. Okay. Yeah, I'm in your boat here. I'm going San Francisco. I'm going ugly though because Cleveland does have this D. It's not just Myles Garrett. He's awesome. He's the best defensive player in the league right now. But the rest of that D is good too. So I'm picking a low scoring affair. I'm going San Fran 19-13.
Yeah, it's going to be that kind of a game for sure.
Feels like it, right?
Yeah. Right there.
All right. Now, a fascinating game because it's one of the more inconsistent teams in the league against probably the best team, although I don't want to give away anything on our power rankings. But the Rams going to the wildly inconsistent Carolina Panthers, who have won some big games at home this year.
They really have. They're much better at home.
They are.
They really are. But I think they're just going against a team that is just on an absolute roll right now. They're running into a buzzsaw, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Could they make it interesting? Sure. Ultimately, I still think they'll lose even if they make it interesting, but I don't even think it's going to be that interesting. I have 38-13 Rams roll Carolina, especially like Carolina's going to have to play really, really well, probably their best game of the year to win this. And they're coming off one of the worst games of the year, and they looked horrible. If they play like that, this could be like 45-0. I mean, this could be real bad if they don't play their A game, and their A game might not even be enough.
No, I agree. Absolutely. Go ahead and give us Joe.
He agrees to not as big of a win as me, but he's got 31-20 Rams. So that's still a comfortable 11-point lead or win.
Yep, no doubt. And I'm just slightly less than Joe, although I wouldn't be surprised if it's as big as yours or bigger. But Carolina, every time they play poorly, they come back and beat somebody you don't expect them to beat the next week. I'm not picking them to win. The Rams are too good, but I am picking a slightly closer score based on that half-cocked theory. So I'm going Rams 33-24.
Theory. All right. 32-24. Perfect.
Nice. Okay. Moving on, another mystifying team who has somehow found themselves at 7-4 against one of the worst teams in football, who actually showed some signs of life last week. That is the Jaguars going to Tennessee and taking on the Titans.
Yes, I was tempted to go with Tennessee coming off of probably Cam Ward's best game.
Yeah.
And plus, if I pick Jacksonville, you start you fall into that trap again of believing in Jacksonville, and every time you do, they bite you in the butt.
Oh, no doubt.
Every single time it seems that you start to believe even a little bit in them, they turn an absolute stinker. I would not be surprised if they do it again, but I'm back on board again. I'm falling for it again. I'm going Jacksonville 25-17 over Tennessee. Don't feel good about it. Would not be surprised if Tennessee pulls this off. Like I said, I was tempted. Just couldn't pull the trigger. 25-17 Jacksonville, and Joe agrees. He's got a much closer score, 21-18, 3-point win for Jacksonville.
Okay, so he's obviously thinking very similar to you, and I am right there with both of you guys as far as this is no cakewalk, because in large part the things you said. One, Jacksonville is frustratingly wild and tough to figure out, and Tennessee's been a little better. They've been a little better and a little better, and they're still not good, but they're not an absolute piece of garbage like they were for the first 8 games of the season. They are also at home. This feels like a good spot for an upset, but I'm not going to pick it. No way. I'm going Jacksonville 27-20.
Yeah, you're right though. It feels like I could smell it. But
Yeah, totally, man. Totally.
I can't pick it.
I love it, man. That's perfectly put, and right there with you on that. But on all of it, perfectly put.
If Jacksonville loses, they're going to be they're officially the new San Diego. Where I'm just going to say that I hate them every week.
Oh, I would love to hear your reaction if Tennessee pulls this off. That'll be epic. That's awesome. All right, man. Moving on to the last of the 1 o'clockers. We have Arizona, who is tantalizingly close to winning a bunch of games, but sits at 3-8, and at the fading fast Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah. Drop the phone?
I did. You did make it.
I can tell you dropped the phone. Anyway.
I was trying to sneak and get away with it, but it obviously made a noise.
I should have covered for you. That's my bad.
No. That probably will explain to the listeners the noise that I didn't realize it made. So it's a good thing.
Yeah, Arizona is just so bad. Tampa Bay is at home. Plus, it's a West Coast team, or Western, not coast, but a West team coming across to Florida. Tampa Bay is banged up, but they're the better team, and they gotta win this game. We're in must-win territory now for Tampa, and as long as Baker plays, and I'm going on the premise that he is, and I'm not going to caveat, I'm just going to assume he is. I'm going to go Tampa, but I'm going really, really close, 26-24. Like you said, Arizona keeps these games close. They just don't seem to win them. So that's kind of what I'm counting on again. I don't feel good about it. I don't feel good about Tampa Bay at all. But Arizona's not a very good team. Their record shows you that, and they are at home. I think that's enough. 26-24 for Tampa.
Right on.
And Joe has 27-20 Tampa as well.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I get all that 100%. The exact news, just for any listeners that haven't looked it up themselves, is Teddy Bridgewater is taking all the first team reps this week, but the hope is that Baker will play. He also had some other injury pop up that I can't find out what it is, but the headline was another injury pops up for Baker Mayfield, and this was 6 hours ago. So it doesn't sound like anything that's like, they're going to keep him out just because of this. I think the shoulder's the bigger thing. But whatever that mysterious injury is, keep your eyes on that, people, too. I'm going out on a limb on this one. I needed an upset pick that wasn't just the upset pick, if you know what I'm saying, listeners. And so this is the one. Not Teddy Bridgewater. Listen, if Teddy Bridgewater plays, I feel really good about this pick. I'm not going to caveat. I'm going to pick Arizona either way. At some point, Jacoby Brissett has been one of the best quarterbacks in football for the last 6 weeks. It's crazy to think about, but it's true. He has 11 touchdowns and 3 interceptions as the starting quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals this year.
Yeah,
It's
and he's
nuts.
gone over 300 yards a bunch of times.
A bunch of times and over 250 in almost every start. And it just blows my mind how well he's playing right now. And it has to translate into a win at some point. And the injury-riddled Tampa Bay, even on the road, is just probably nuts on my part, but I'm doing it anyway. I'm taking the Cardinals, and I'm taking them 17-13 in an ugly win that finally gets Arizona on the board with Jacoby Brissett as the starter.
Joe has Arizona as his upset pick.
All right. We are in a full Vulcan mind meld this week.
He picked Tampa, but his upset pick is Arizona.
I love it. That's awesome.
Should we explain that a little bit? Anybody, any new listeners, what we do with that?
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, go right ahead.
What we do is we all pick a team that we did not pick to actually win the game in our official picks. We pick it, we call it the upset pick as a team that could win their game. Even though we're not picking it, we think they have a good shot at it anyway. That's kind of like the best way I think I can describe it.
Yeah, and they have to be an underdog on in the Vegas odds.
Right. And like last week, Dallas was the underdog against Philadelphia, and I picked Dallas. I'm doing it again because they're the underdog again against Kansas City.
Yep.
And yeah, so in Arizona is the underdog here against Tampa, and that's why Joe's got them as his. So that's what we do. We just pick one team that the official pick is not them. The official pick is the favorite. But we take one of those teams, one of those underdogs, and we make them their upset pick, who we think has a really good shot to actually pull it off.
Yeah, good call on explaining that. I don't know if we did that this year, so that's a good call.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on.
All right, moving on to the 4-o'clockers. We have, a team in just dire straits right now, especially at the quarterback position, heading to one of the tougher teams in football this year. Minnesota going to Seattle.
And I tell you, one of the toughest parts of the going to Seattle is that defense is playing really well.
Absolutely, man.
And
Absolutely.
That is big trouble for Minnesota because of the way McCarthy's been playing.
No doubt.
This could be ugly. This could be an ugly game.
I agree.
I'm not going too crazy ugly, but I would not be surprised if it's even uglier. But I am not going pretty. So I'm going Seattle, obviously, 30-14.
Right on.
Top of everything, Seattle's also at home. And Joe is going a little bigger than me. He's going 34-10.
Love it. Well, that's wild, dude, because I am right in between the two of you. Check this out. I am going Seattle 32-12.
Yeah. Totally can see it.
And there's a chance Jackson Smith and Jigba goes over 1,500 yards in the course of this game. Now, it would take about $175 or $150 or so. But, I mean, you legit have a guy who could have 1,500 receiving yards 13 weeks into an NFL season.
Crazy.
It's nuts, man. I'm blown away by him this year. Absolutely blown away.
The fact that he's like 170 yards away or whatever. He's gone over 170 a bunch of times already this year, so it's completely possible.
That's why I brought it up, because you're right. It's absolutely possible, man. It really is. I mean, he is. You know what? I don't know off the top of my head how many 2,000 receiving yard seasons there have been in the history of the NFL. I'm going to find it right now. Receiving NFL season.
I think it's
It's 5. Calvin Johnson. Do you want to guess before I tell you any more?
Did Rice never did it?
Rice is one of the 5.
Okay.
Oh wait, no. Hold on. Hold on. They presented it weirdly. Let me double check these numbers. Ho! I take it all back. That was the top 5. It wasn't that 5 receivers got 2,000 yards. There has never been a 2,000-yard receiver in the history of the NFL.
That's what I was actually going to say. But when you said the 5, then I started doubting myself.
No, my bad. I was reading it wrong. It is Calvin Johnson has the record at 1,964 yards.
Wow. He could do it.
Dude, he could really do it. I mean, he's on pace to shatter it, but that can be tough to maintain for all 17 games. But boy, that'd be pretty cool to see.
That would be. Wow.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, let's keep our eyes on that moving on for sure. All right. Another heck of a game here. Really interesting one because you have one of the teams I picked them to go to the Super Bowl, and they've been wildly inconsistent, but still good against one of the teams you and I have been talking about as being mystifying for years now, and that is Buffalo at Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Pittsburgh, Mason Rudolph, or Aaron Rodgers, I don't care. I'm still going to just pick Buffalo to win this game. I have 28-20. Pittsburgh, let's put the nail in the coffin for this year and just end it. I mean, geez, I don't like the makeup of this team at all, and I don't really like the Steelers at all. Period. Anyway, and Buffalo's got to get going here. If not now, when? So I still believe in them as one of the better teams, and they got to get going. So 28-20 Buffalo. Joe has 30-20 Buffalo.
Okay. Yeah, I'm in the same ballpark as you guys. I'm picking the Bills. I think they're just a better team, and even though they've been inconsistent, Pittsburgh has a trademark on being inconsistent, and Buffalo's just better overall. It wouldn't stun me. This is actually based on my theory of the Steelers. I should be picking the Steelers right here. I really should.
Yep.
Because I am convinced they're going to lose. Absolutely 100% going to lose. So I should probably pick them. I just can't do it. I can't do it. So I'm picking the Bills 29-22.
If Pittsburgh wins that, then you've got to go back to just doing the opposite of whatever you think with them.
I do, and I probably should right now, but I can't do it, man. It's like this is screaming Bills, Bills, Bills. So if Pittsburgh wins, I just have to punch myself in the face and go back to my theory, like you said. I'm gonna go Fight Club on myself.
Punch myself in the face.
All right, moving on. Talk about inconsistent. We have one of the worst teams in the league heading to one of the most inconsistent teams in the league. That is the Raiders at the Chargers.
Well, I think the Raiders are worse than the Chargers are inconsistent.
That's a great way of putting it, and I agree.
They're better at being a bad team than the Chargers are at being an inconsistent team.
That's perfect.
So oh my God, look at this. I have the Chargers 30-17. Just handled because the Raiders look so pitiful the last 2 weeks. Just horrible.
Yeah. Yep.
And Joe has the exact same score, 30-17.
I freaking love it. That's unbelievable.
Now, if your score is 30-17, I'll lose my mind.
I would love to tell you that's the case. Unfortunately, I can't. That would have been awesome. If it was, I would have gone and played 3017 in the lottery and every possible combination of those 4 numbers.
Absolutely.
But I am with both of you guys on the outcome other than the exact score, and I'm going Chargers 36-20. The only other thing I want to say about this game is I'm very curious to see. I mentioned this in last week's in our Week 12 recap show, and I'm going to say it again now. Keep your eyes on Janty. This is the time for him to break out. The Chargers have been not that great on D a lot this season, and they fired Chip Kelly, who is a nemesis, just an absolute mole on the side of any sort of football growth of any team. So he has a chance to be a much better player without that guy dragging him down, and watch for it right away.
Okay. Yes, absolutely. I hope he does because I'd like to see him succeed. I'd like to see him do well.
Me too. And the chipper man, that guy's concepts were out of date in the NFL 10 years ago. So good for them they never should have hired him in the first place. Good for them for pulling the trigger now. I don't know if it's going to be enough to save Pete Carroll's job, but at least the players don't have to deal with him for the last 7 weeks.
Yep.
All right. Can you tell I don't like Chip Kelly, Craig?
Yes. that is apparent.
Oh, I love it. All right. Moving on to prime time. This is a fun game. We got Denver, one of the stories of the league this year, going to the Washington Commanders.
Has Denver they've won like 8 in a row, right?
Yeah, let me just double check that number, but I think you nailed it. Let me just double check real quick
They
here.
were on the bye last week. I think they've won 8.
Yeah, there you are on an 8-game win streak, Craig. You nailed it.
And Washington is they're straight Duke. They're not good.
An absolute straight Duke. That's awesome. And by the way, that straight Duke team, which I love has lost 6 in a row.
Yeah. Denver's one of the best teams in the league now. I mean, they've established that. I think they have. Even with their inconsistent offense, their defense is really good. I can't see how Washington's going to score much against them. Definitely not enough to beat them. So I have Denver 24-16. And I might be giving them too many points with 16, to be honest. Because Joe has Denver 23-10.
I love it.
Notice we did not have them scoring a lot because their offense is inconsistent.
No, that makes a lot of sense. And I am right there with you guys. I think I went slightly higher than both of you, but not by much, and only because I have Denver's offense scoring so many points and figuring out maybe a little bit of garbage time action. But I'm going Denver 30-17.
Okay, yep. I would love to see Denver to score that much. Because, if they can show that kind of offense with their defense, then they're going to be a dangerous team. It's just that every once in a while they will show up, but then they go right back into scoring 17 points a game.
Yeah, and honestly, even having picked this as a blowout, I wouldn't be surprised if Denver wins by 2 points because that's what they've done all year.
Yeah, yep. But they have won in a row. You got to give them credit.
I absolutely do. And, and listen, some people talk about winning close games like it's a negative. It's a positive, especially come playoff time.
Oh, yeah.
They've been under fire all year. And Bo Nix, who's is a inconsistent quarterback in his young career, but brilliant at times, has shown that he is clutch money. So, yeah. Yeah, fascinating game. I'm curious. I like to see Denver just whip the crap out of a lesser team for once,
Yeah, me too.
So we'll see. All right. Now, the Monday night game, we have the Giants with a possibility of the dart return going to New England against a really good New England team.
Now, can you check on this as well? Have they won 8 in a row?
Let's see here. What do we got for New England? They have won 9 in a row.
Jeez. They're the number 1 seed in the AFC.
Yeah, because Denver had the bye, so they have played 1 less game, and they're the only other team with 2 losses now since the Colts lost.
Well, you cannot, even with Jackson Dart playing, you cannot think that the Giants are going to go to New England and beat a team that's won 9 in a row and is the number 1 seed in the AFC. When they are, 2-9?
Yeah, 2-10.
2-10? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. I mean, the way the NFL's going, they're going to do it because the NFL's wacky.
Yep.
But I'm not picking it. There's no way. Everything is saying New England, and I'm not going to deny that. New England, I do have it 27-20 because I don't like him because he's not he's on the Giants. but I can't deny the fact that every time I see Jackson Dart play, he plays really well. So if he does play, I think he's going to keep him in it. I think he'll be.
Yeah.
I think
Hey, listen, man, they've been in almost every game this year. They just have been inventing ways to lose. So I'm right there with you.
Yeah, I would love to see Dart again, though. He is fun to watch, even though I hate the team. He is definitely fun to watch. He's definitely brings some excitement to a team that I otherwise would think is just boring. Jameis did what Jameis does and added some excitement, but Dart brings a different excitement and a better one because he can actually be the future.
Yeah, hope for the future. That's the big difference. Because Jameis, there's hardly anybody in this league is more fun to watch than Jameis Winston. He's a nut. I love him, but we know what Jameis is. He's not taking over anybody's starting quarterback position that is looking to win. and but I love him. But like you said, Dart is the future. So yeah, it would be cool to see him versus Drake May. That would be a fun thing to watch about this game.
Yes, absolutely. But I mean, the records tell you it's all pointing towards New England. Joe has New England as well, 31-21.
Right on. Right on. Okay. I am also going New England and not far off from Joe. I'm going 28-21 because it would be unlike the Giants not to be in a one-score game.
Right, and probably up 21-10 or something at halftime.
Yeah. I figure the Patriots get 2 touchdowns in the last like 3.5 minutes.
Oh God! But I like the fact that we made it kind of closer and gave the Giants 20 points, giving all of us acknowledging that Jackson Dart is an exciting young quarterback who could do that.
No doubt. Yeah, listen, you can't argue that the Giants have been a competitive team this year. Even despite that awful record and the results not being great, they have been in a ton of games.
And to be honest, I think you mentioned in the last podcast, by all rights, with all the close games they've played and all the leads they've blown, they should have like 5 or 6 wins.
They really should. And it's a combination of things. It's not any one thing. It's just been a weird, just maelstrom of awfulness in different ways for them to blow these wins. But man, it would be interesting if this is one they could actually pull off and beat a Patriots team that's just beaten everybody they should beat, and a few teams you could argue maybe nobody expected them to beat along the way. So, yeah, it would be a trip to see the Giants win this game. Not picking it.
Yeah, having said all that, not picking it.
Yeah, nice. And that is week 13, my man.
Okay. Well, let's get to our feature that we have here, the power rankings that we do every week. Could rip through these pretty quick because a lot of it I think might be the same. So my number 5 team is Denver. And they were my number 4 team, but they got penalized for for being on the bye.
Right on.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. Hang on.
No problem.
No. They're number 5 team. Okay. Oh wait, see, no, I am confusing myself. I'm sorry.
No worries.
I'm thinking the wrong thing. Philadelphia is my number 5 team.
Right on.
They were my number 2. Phillies dropped to 5 with the loss.
Right on.
And Joe has Green Bay as his number 5 team. And he had Buffalo in there, and Buffalo is now no longer part of his top 5.
Yeah, Buffalo, let me see. I think I had them in. No, I did not have them in, and they are not in now either after that loss to the Texans. Yeah, my number 5 team is the Chicago Bears, making my top 5 for the first time this year. Now, I will also say, and this is probably a bit of an overreaction on my part, but it was between them and the Eagles for this 5 spot. I dropped the Eagles right on out of my top 5 after that loss.
Really?
Yes, I did. And it's probably a little too harsh. And I'm fully expecting them to beat the Bears and get right back in the top 5. But after that loss, I'm knocking them out. And they were my number 1 last week.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. They were your number 1, and they dropped completely out. That's wow. And me and Joe kept them in.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. And I probably should have. They should probably at least be 4 or 5. But the way that loss went, man, I would just like, nope, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. They still are tied now with the Rams for the most wins over teams over 500. So there's a great case for them still being in the top 5. But after blowing a 21-point lead, I'm penalizing them.
All right. Well, I understand that. So despite all my confusion with my rankings from last week and this week, Denver coming off the bye actually moved up a spot. They were my number 5 team. They're actually my number 4 team. And that's partially because of Philadelphia dropping.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. That absolutely makes sense.
And Joe had Green Bay number 5, and number 4 is Philadelphia for him.
Right on.
So
I love it.
Them from 2 to 4.
I think you guys are probably more right with Philly than me being really butthurt homer. But I think because I put Philly at 6. So I think somewhere the combination of our 3 is probably right on.
Yep.
My number 4 is the Seattle Seahawks.
Okay. Yep, I can see that.
I'm impressed by them. Their defense, their offense. Darnold bouncing back was a big factor in that for me after his terrible game against the Rams. And they look like they're going to be a tough out for whoever they draw in the playoffs.
Yeah, and they were not in your top 5 last week.
Correct. That my 4 and 5 were not in. That tells you somebody else dropped out, and I will wait to see if they come up before I tell you who it is.
Okay. Well, they're not going to come up on this pick because me and Joe both have Seattle at number 3.
Okay, right on.
Right, for the same reasons as you spoke, but Joe kept them at number 3. They were 3 last week, and for me, they were number 4, and they moved up to number 3.
Okay, all right, makes perfect sense. For me, number 3 is New England.
Yes.
Who I think I bumped up 1, maybe? Yeah, I bumped up from 4 to 3 this week.
Yep, makes sense. They just keep going and keep winning.
Yeah, I'm believing more and more by the week, and it's hard to argue. Drake May is only not the MVP favorite because Stafford is playing out of his mind.
Yes, but he's going to be right there in terms of in the top 3 or 4 for votes and stuff.
No doubt, and he will and should get a lot of bonus points for doing it. Listen, this is not to detract from Stafford because he's freaking incredible and he's having a monster year, but he also has 2 of the best receivers in football on that team, in Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua. And as we discussed in our Week 12 recap, he's doing it. Drake May is doing it with a bunch of nobodies and an aging former All-Pro.
Yeah, New England called me up to ask if I can be a receiver.
Nice, that's right.
He's throwing to me and you.
That's right, man. I think they tried to get Irving Fryer out of retirement. Oh, I love it, man. Awesome.
Slaughter. Remember that guy?
What was it?
Slaughter. Remember him?
Oh, man, yeah.
I'm not sure if he played for New England. I think it was...
No, Slaughter was actually a baseball player for
I'm an idiot.
I love it because Enos Slaughter, by the way, is one of my. Because he was an old timer, man. I think he was on that Cardinals team with Stan Musial that won the World Series.
No, I'm thinking of a different guy.
Yeah, you're thinking of somebody else. I'm not sure. Oh, wait, you're thinking of – wait. It almost came to me. I think I had it for half a second there, but I lost it. Yeah, Enos Slaughter. Yeah, it was the Cardinals. He won a World Series with Stan Musial. And he's a Hall of Famer. And the reason I know Enos Slaughter, and just to indulge me on a very brief sidetrack here, is because I have Craig, and I know you'll know what this means. Our listeners that are big sports nerds like us will understand too. I have his 1952 Topps card.
Really?
Yep. I have him and a guy named Red Shane Deist, 1952 Topps that I got when I was 14 years old.
Wow.
Yep.
What do you think? I'm definitely confusing him with somebody else. There's no doubt about that.
It's on the tip of my brain who you're thinking of. Oh, Webster Slaughter,
Webster Slaughter.
who was a wide receiver, if I remember right.
Right, yes. Let's see.
He played for the Browns, and I don't know who else.
He probably didn't play for New England. But yes, Webster Slaughter, and the time frame fits perfectly for when he played. Yes, that's definitely who I was thinking of. But he never played for New England, and for some reason I thought he did.
I love it though. And maybe too, you might have been thinking of Sergeant Slaughter.
Well, I'm always thinking of Sergeant Slaughter.
I love it, man. You gotta love any chance to get a Sergeant Slaughter reference in. Let's go. Oh, I love it. All right. Well, that was a fun little sidetrack into Slaughterland.
Yes. Okay, so that was New England's your number 3.
Correct.
And Joe and me, we had both had Seattle. Well, in a similar situation, we have New England number 2. Both me and Joe have New England number 2. Just like you had Seattle number 4, we both had Seattle number 3. You have New England number 3, and we both have New England number 2.
I love it. And I have the team you mentioned that was on a bye last week, who I've been just blown away by this year, the Denver Broncos at number 2.
Yep, moving up a spot, right? Because you had the number 3 last week.
Exactly.
Okay. For the first time this year, I believe, then that means we are all going to have the same number 1 team, and that is the Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah, and there's really no debate right now. The Eagles blue being in, it was a very interesting discussion prior to the Eagles blowing it to the Cowboys, because you had the Rams who honestly looked a lot better than the Eagles for the last month, but they also lost to the Eagles. So it was a really interesting discussion, and it was you could make points on both sides and argue effectively on both sides of the equation. Now there is no more argument. It is clearly the Rams.
Yeah, I would second that for sure. I liken them to a buzzsaw, and right now, until they lose, I don't think there's a game I would pick them to lose. Other than, you know what, if they go on the road to maybe like an Eagles team, or, I mean, honestly, maybe Seattle. No, they beat Seattle. I don't think there's a game I'm going to pick against them until they lose one and give me second thoughts, or, there's an injury, which would really suck if there is. But other than that, I don't see a game that could possibly come up that I would pick against them. What's the rest of their schedule?
Yeah, they have two games against playoff teams left, unless you want to count the Panthers this week, which I'm not going to. But you could make a case that that's one of their 3 semi-tough games left. Although the other 2 I think are tougher. But they play the Lions, but the Lions have to go to them, and they've been wildly inconsistent. And then, like you said, they go to Seattle, which is probably the toughest game, easily. Like as far as that's the only game they might not be favored in the rest of the season, depending on what happens between now and then. If neither of them lose a game, the Seahawks might actually be favored in that game by like 1.5 or something. You know what I mean?
Right. Who was the other game? I'm sorry.
The Lions. They go to the Rams on December 14th.
Yeah, the fact that the Lions are going to the Rams, I can't pick that.
No, I would pick the Rams for sure in that. And it would take, I could see picking the Seahawks depending what happens between now and then. But if it was this week, I'd be picking the Rams.
All right. As a refresher, in week 11, they played, but they were in LA, and the Rams won 21-19.
Yeah, it was a close game. And Sam Darnold threw 4 interceptions in that game, and they only lost by 2 points.
Yes. So when they go to Seattle, if Seattle keeps winning as well, they might be the underdog in that one. But if they both keep winning all the way to that game, I might still go with the Rams. I don't know. That would be a tough one. One.
I'm with you. That would be really interesting. And I think if neither team loses between now and then, I think the Rams might be the favorite. But it could be a pick 'em. It could nothing either side of it, as long as it's under 3 points, would surprise me.
Yep. Absolutely. And I'll tell you what, if neither one of them lose from now to then, that's the game of the year, really.
It's very possible that almost likely actually, if that it would be for the number 1 seed.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man. Yeah, it's really cool.
All right. Well, we've done it. It is over.
Yeah.
We did our power rankings and our week 13 preview. Make sure if you guys missed it to check out the week 12 review show. This is coming out later than usual. We'll be back to our normal schedule next week. Hopefully you guys can check this out before the Thanksgiving games. But if not, I understand that. Hopefully you can still check it out tomorrow at some point or Friday and see what we thought, see what we got wrong already in the Thanksgiving Day games. Because I'm sure we'll get some. And we'll still preview the rest of the weekend for you. So make sure you check that out. And Al, do you have anything else?
No, man, just check us out while you're in between, when they're in between games, and you're fighting off your turkey coma.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, and Craig.
Yes.
Question for you before we end.
Yep.
Favorite Thanksgiving side dish? If you can only have one.
My aunt makes a corn casserole.
Oh, I love it. My mom makes one,
which is unique.
And is it Cope's corn?
Is it what?
Cope's corn? Do you know what that is?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not familiar with Cope's corn.
Okay, it's kind of sweet. That's how my mom makes it. I was just curious if it was the same deal. Keep going.
Oh, it's just it's like a can of regular corn, can of cream corn, a Jiffy corn mix, corn muffin mix, in the box with a stick of butter, because of course everything needs a stick of butter.
Darn right.
And sour cream.
Oh, that sounds incredible.
And throw in the oven. It takes a little while to get in the oven. Actually, it's like an hour and a half in the oven, but it's very, very good. And it's everybody's favorite around here. And we just really discovered it just a few years ago. Like maybe 8-9 years ago was like my aunt figured it out, saw the recipe somewhere. And it's been on our holidays ever since, right on through.
That, you know how hard that is to introduce a new staple to Thanksgiving dinner? I mean, that's impressive.
Yeah.
That's impressive, man. Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. That sounds delicious.
So what's yours?
Mine is, and always will be, stuffing, dressing, filling, whatever you call it where you live. What do you guys call it, by the way?
Stuffing.
We're stuffing too. So, it's stuffing, and it's the stuffing from inside the turkey, not the one that's just in the pan.
Yeah. I can't wait now. You got me all jazzed up, ready for tomorrow.
I know, man. I'm ready. Let's go. It's a good thing we're recording late tonight because we're almost there.
Yeah, and it's my favorite holiday.
Yeah, me too. You don't have the pressure of presents.
Yeah, it's Christmas without the presents.
Exactly. It's just eat,
and better food.
Yeah, and better selection of football.
Yeah.
All right. That's all I got, my man. Thank you as always.
Okay. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us. And until next